If you notice that your computer is not running as fast as it used to, or maybe you just upgraded from Windows 10 to Windows 11 and your computer is acting a little weird, or it seems like the performance has gone bad, it's easy to kind of troubleshoot and see where those performance hits are. And on the screen, you can see the Task Manager. Today, we're going to walk through what Task Manager is, the very simple way to troubleshoot yourself, to kind of troubleshoot and fix some of these errors. You don't have to download a virus-infected application to do this for you, for example. Not that all of them are virus-infected, but you can do this pretty easily on your own. So stay tuned, and we're going to jump right to it. So what do we need to know here? First of all, why don't we go ahead and get done with, we'll kind of close that screen here. Now, just so you know, the first thing that you want to do is you want to reboot your machine. So when you start this troubleshooting activity, reboot your machine first. So you can get a nice, fresh version. A lot of times I'll literally do a shut off, wait for 10 seconds, and power back up. And that's where this machine is currently. Now, when I power this machine back up again, notice here that my CPU and my memory are really high. So what this says is it doesn't matter how much memory you have in your machine, the more the better. But what it's telling me is I'm using 44% of the available memory. I haven't even started any applications yet. So let's take a little closer look and see exactly what that means. I haven't started anything inside of the system. So let's go ahead, and if you just click here once, now this is a Windows 11 Task Manager. Windows 10 looks very similar, by the way. But notice here right at the top of the list, I just click, I can see the lowest, then the most right here, and I can see my CPU. Now, I know I have Recorder running because I'm recording this session right now. But here I have 1.3 meg, so that's making up a ton of memory usage. And so I want to be able to manage that a little bit better. So let's go ahead and take a look. First of all, I'm going to open up Chrome, and we're going to just see what that error looks like. So here, it's Waves Service Application. Remember, I know that because that's what it says right here. Okay. Notice I'm at 46% now, but notice here, this is the name of the application. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and see. Now you can see there's a ton of people complaining about it. So you can read about what it is. Can I disable it? How do I disable it? Is it okay to disable it? Things like that. So read all about how to fix it and things like that. I've done that. And so we're just using this as an example. It could be anything on your Task Manager. Look up in Google. Usually it's pretty good. And then it says we're going to go ahead and stop this. And then I'm going to stop it from starting up in my startup services. So the first thing we need to do is let's stop this memory hog. And we're going to hit End Task. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and you're going to see memory utilization go down. Now we're still at 37%, so we dropped about 10%, but let's go ahead and see where the reality is on that. Remember, memory doesn't clean itself up immediately. Windows has a terrible track record of keeping remnants of memory still in use, although it's not really in use. So, but let's fix this problem first, then we're going to reboot and merge these two videos so you can see if what we did actually worked. So we can go ahead and click right here on the little, looks like a gauge there, startup applications. And again, the Windows 10 version is a little bit different. But let's go ahead and look for that application. Sure enough, it's right there. We're going to do a right click on that, and we're just going to say disable. Now, we're going to disable that application from startup. We can also, while we're in here, look at other things that are enabled and things that are disabled. Okay, so I've disabled several things in here. I don't know, this is something by Microsoft. So what you have to realize is that these things are all coming up and people are doing things and updates to your system that you don't really know about. So let's look at this RTKAUD. Let's see if we can find that one real quick, just to give one last example here. So we're going to go ahead and just type that in. So RTKAUD, and there you go. You see it right there come up, right there. What is it? And we can take a look. This is a Windows process. It's the Realtek audio driver. Okay, can I delete it? Okay, it's not essential for Windows and will often cause problems. So now you say to yourself, oh, well, should I disable that? Well, it's a background process for cooperation with. The program is not a Windows file system certified to be trustworthy. So do I remove it or not? So let's go ahead, and it's undetermined at this point, but it says that it's got a high impact on startup, but I don't know how much memory it's using. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. And we're going to go back to this memory, and we're going to sort here by name. And we're just going to go down to RTK. And you can see it's embedded somewhere in here. But you can see its memory utilization is very small. So disabling that at startup is not going to do anything for me. So I'm going to pause this video and then come back here in just a minute. I'm going to reboot this system, and we're going to be able to see if we went from 37% memory, see what we come up with when we reboot. So here we've gone ahead and shut down this system and then rebooted the system. So we did a shutdown, not a restart. We shut down, waited for 10 seconds, and then started the computer again. And notice here that our memory percentage is around 34%. So we took down our memory percentage utilization by approximately 10 or 15%, which is wonderful. But now let's take a look and see again who's consuming most of the memory. At this point, of course, Camtasia is consuming a lot of memory, and then this Windows Audio Device Graph Isolation, and then Teams, of course, which is a huge consumer of memory as well. So you can begin to really start fine-tuning. For example, Teams, you can take a look here. Teams is starting up when the system starts up. So I may not want that anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and disable startup at that point. So you can go through and kind of disable any of these that you see and kind of just keep working your way through and seeing how much impact changes have on your memory utilization, and then your computer will run just a little bit faster.